Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Watson dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Watson now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Now Austin. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. First and 10 here for Trubisky and the Steelers at their own 28-yard line. Here's the leading rusher amongst rookies last season, Najee Harris. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Well, this defense for the Browns, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, they held them to just 7 points. And if you rewatch the game tape, and I did multiple times, it was amazing to me that the other guys even got 7. They were absolutely dominating on that side of the football.
On 2nd down and 4, Trubisky. It's complete to Fuller. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Trubisky to throw.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Greedy Williams picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would.
He's got a man complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score. And then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
To throw again on second down, Trubisky. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Trubisky. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
Returnable for Grant. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns drive about to get started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
And it's all...
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Trubisky. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that makes the score 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Second and 7.
To throw is Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Trubisky. He's letting this one go for Fuller. It got his man complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Trubisky will throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 35 on second down, Watson. And that is incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From just shy of midfield, Trubisky got his man complete over the middle. It's Fuller.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Trubisky to throw. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Throwing here, Trubisky.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw again. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And in for the Steelers, touchdown. Zach Gentry, his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Steelers get a bit closer. So that, Charles, their first score of the ball game, obviously, coming here in the 3rd quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Now Trubisky, they're going to throw for it. And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about.
And that flag's on Myles Garrett, and we know he's got a nose for getting after the quarterback, but that time, even though he's going to protest it a little bit, he's a step late, and they hit him with the penalty.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. Faking the give. Now Watson.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Throwing again is Watson. Escaping the... And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Well, 2 snaps ago, I don't think anyone thought a safety was on the table, yet it happened. They caught him on back-to-back plays breaking through the line. No amount of evading was going to save him from a sack on either play. And on the last one, he ran too deep into the end zone to set up the safety.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, put the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
3rd quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10.
Play action. Now Trubisky. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And now here's another interception.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. And again, it's Chubb. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Browns will take over possession here up at the 44.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd and 7, Watson.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now Chubb running right, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
They run it again with Chubb. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Down, coming.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this will remain an 11-point spread. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know, what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
And that's on the guard, Wyatt Teller.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. A give. This is Chubb. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. How about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Browns, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll be